where we're going to be talking to you all about extracurriculars, personal anecdotes, and SAT and academics. So to start off with extracurriculars, we have Tony.
Is there any way for me to get the clicker up here? Or is there no remote control? It's just on the laptop, right? Okay. Alright, hi guys, my name is Tony. I'll be talking to you about extracurriculars. So, the most important thing about all this is what makes you stand out. And before I go into detail about extracurriculars, let me tell you about one thing that I wish someone told me. And that is, grades aren't that important. What? Whoa, okay, so before you think I'm crazy, I'm gonna say it again, grades aren't that important, and I can prove it to you. So what's the epitome of getting good grades? That's being number one, you're the best at the top. Number one, valedictorian. But consider this, there are 20,000 high schools in America. Actually, if you Google it, I think the ask.com number is 24,973 as of 2009. Anyways, about 20,000. Each high school has its own number one. So that's 20,000 valedictorians in all of America, right? And if you think about it, there's 7 Ivies, and then if you throw in Stanford, MIT, UChicago, and WashU, that's 11 schools, each have a freshman class about 1,500. That's still, if they only admitted valedictorians, each of them could fill their entire freshman roster with valedictorians, and still have 3,000 valedictorians left over from America each year. So being valedictorian isn't what's going to get you into college. That's not what makes you stand out. So, with that said, I don't want to have you walk away thinking, oh, Tony said grades aren't important. That's not what I mean at all. I'm saying grades aren't the end-all be-all. Yeah, please. It's more like grades are a lot like heights in the NBA, right? So, if you look at my beautiful diagram, this took a lot longer to make than you'd think. Okay, snap. Okay, so speaking of grades in colleges, the first person to come in mind is Jeremy Lin, who's like 6'3", and Yimi Joyi, for those of you who are metric fans. And that's really tall, right? And then there's LeBron James, who's at a shocking 6'8", nearly half a foot higher. And then you've got Dwayne Wade, who's 6'4". And these are all really tall guys, but towering over all of them, you have Yao Ming, who's a freaking giant. But just because Yao Ming is 7'6", the tallest person to ever be in the NBA during his time, does that mean he's automatically the best player? No, of course not. Just like having the highest grade doesn't make you the most qualified person for college. There's a threshold shown by the dotted lines at the bottom, and that's just, you have to be 6 feet tall to play, which means I'm like 5'7.5", so I didn't even make my high school team, and I can't make the NBA. So likewise, you don't have to be valedictorian to get into college, but you should aim to be top 5 or 10%. So with that in mind, grades don't make you special. So what does make you stand out? Those are your extracurriculars. One more. Oh, while we stay here, I just want to say, those of you who are experienced with PowerPoint should know that no presentation is complete without a terrible formatting tragedy, and this is mine. So this is really cool, but then it died out, and it was just like a collage of different possible extracurriculars. But let's just move on to the next slide. Question mark. So, what is your perfect extracurricular? The answer is there is none. Like, actually, there isn't. What's important is that you have a passion, something you care about. Because, as Willie said, colleges want people who will one day change the world. People who can take action and take the initiative. And you don't show this by following orders and doing whatever your teacher asks you and getting perfect grades. You show this by doing things outside the classroom, by doing things that matter to you and making a difference. So with that respect, there's no perfect extracurricular. There's nothing that, if you follow this formula, do debate, do orchestra, do, I don't know what else. There's so many. Ping pong, yeah, and math team, then you'll get into Harvard every time. No, it's not like that. For me, it was Latin. I liked a dead language that no one cared about in 2,000 years, and I just did a lot with that. Okay. So, yeah, next slide. And on extracurriculars, I wanted to give a word on leadership. This was, I think, one of the most important things I learned in high school. And it's that it might have changed, and it'll probably change by the time you get there, but one of the greatest tragedies of the Common App is that all those leadership positions that you work so hard to get, that you might lose a couple friends fighting over, when it boils down on the Common App, it's just one line, a checkbox, and maybe 2 lines of description. Isn't that right? It's actually horrible. So leadership positions don't matter in that they're just a position. Like, I know clubs that have had 6 presidents, more than one club actually, 6 presidents who have an equal share of nothing. What's important is doing things, right? And you don't have to have a fancy title to do things. All you have to do is care about it, right? You have to care and have a vision and want to make a difference. So what I'm saying is you don't have to get a position when you're upperclassmen. If you care about something and you're freshman or sophomore, just go out and do things and make a difference. And that's what's important. That's what will get you noticed, and that's what you'll have your essays to talk about. Thanks. Or one more? So yeah, returning to the back. So returning to the original question, what makes you stand out? That's what extracurriculars are all about, and that's what my friends here are going to talk to you more about later. All right, thank you.